আগামীকাল সেই বহু প্রতীক্ষিত ডার্বি যা কলকাতা থেকে সরে গিয়ে আপাতত গুয়াহাটিতে অনুষ্ঠিত হতে চলেছে। এই বিষয়ে মুখ খুললেন মোহনবাগান ফুটবলার জেমি ম্যাকলারেন। বললেন, এটা অবশ্যই একটা খুবই দুর্ভাগ্যজনক, কারণ কলকাতার এত সমর্থক, দুই প্রধানের এত সমর্থক, আমরা ফুটবলাররা হিসেবেও এই কলকাতাতেই খেলতে চেয়েছিলাম ডার্বি, কিন্তু যে কারণ সরে যাচ্ছে কিছু করার নিয়ে আমাদেরকে সেখানে, আমরা এন্টারটেনার, আমরা পারফর্মার, আমরা ফুটবলার, আমরা প্রফেশনাল, আমাদেরকে যেখানেই বলবে সেখানেই খেলতে হবে। তবে আমরা মনে প্রাণে চেয়েছিলাম কলকাতায় খেলতে। জিমি ম্যাকলারেন যখন মোহনবাগানে আনা হয়েছিল, সমর্থকদের আশা ছিল একটা আরও বেশি গোল। জিমি ম্যাকলারেন নিজে কি মনে করেন যে তিনি তার চূড়ান্ত ফর্ম বা তার সেরাটা দিতে পেরেছেন মোহনবাগান জার্সি গায়ে? জেমি বললেন, অবশ্যই আমি হয়তো গোল করিনি, মোহনবাগান আমাকে এনেছিল গোল করার জন্য নয়, মোহনবাগান আমাকে কিন্তু এনেছিল দলকে চূড়ান্ত সাফল্য দেওয়ার জন্য। দল আমার আগেও চূড়ান্ত সাফল্য পেয়েছে, তবে শুধুমাত্র নিচের গোল নিয়ে আমি চিন্তিত নই। দলগত হিসেবে আমরা যখন খেলতে পারছি, আমাদের মূল মোটিভ হলো নিচ থেকে অ্যাটাক তৈরি করা আর অ্যাটাক থেকে ডিফেন্স করা। এই মূল মন্ত্রে আমরা চলছি এবং ততদিন যত পর্যন্ত আমরা সফল হচ্ছি এই মন্ত্রে, আমি নিজে কটা গোল করলাম সেটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট নয়। হ্যাঁ, আমি গোল করতে অবশ্যই চাইবো ডার্বিতে এবং আরও বেশি গোল করতে চাইবো, কিন্তু আমার কাছে মূল গুরুত্ব হচ্ছে টিম যতদিন পর্যন্ত ভালো খেলছে, টিম যতদিন টপে আছে সেটাই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। জিমি ম্যাকলারেন, কামিন্স এবং এই একটা মানে অসাধারণ একটা ট্রায়ো যেটা আছে মোহনবাগানের বিদেশিদের ক্ষেত্রে, অন্ততপক্ষে জেমি, গ্রেগ স্টুয়ার্ট, দিমি পেত্রাতোস, এই নিয়ে একটা চূড়ান্ত, জেমি, জেসন কামিংস, সবাইকে নিয়ে একটা চূড়ান্ত অ্যাটাকিং লাইন আপ। অবশ্য তিনি নিজে কি পছন্দ করেন, যেটা জেমি ম্যাকলারেন বললেন যে আমার কাছে প্রথমার্ধে আমরা হয়তো চারজনে খেলতে পারলে, রুল পরিবর্তন করতে পারলে তো খুবই ভালো হতো, কিন্তু তখন সেটা যদি সম্ভব না হয় তাহলে কে প্রথমার্ধে খেলছে, কে সেকেন্ড হাফে খেলছে সেটা বড় কথা নয়। আগেও আমরা দেখেছি যারা সাবস্টিটিউট হয়ে এসছে তারাও কিন্তু ম্যাচের রং বদলে দিয়েছে। তাই মোহনবাগান এটাই যে যারা প্রথম দুজন নামে, পরে আমরা দুজন নামছি, যে যখন যে সময় খেলছি নিজেদের সেরা দিয়ে জয়টা ছিনিয়ে আনা, গোলে থাকা, সেটাই সবচেয়ে বড় কথা। তবে ইস্ট বেঙ্গলকে কিন্তু ছোট করে দেখতে তিনি রাজি নন। ইস্ট বেঙ্গল যে আরও ক্ষুধার্ত থাকবে গত ম্যাচে একটা ওই রকম হারের পর, সেটা কিন্তু বলতে তিনি ভুললেন না। তিনি বললেন, ইস্ট বেঙ্গল অবশ্যই আমাদেরকে হারাতে চাইবে এবং এই ম্যাচটা থেকে তারা আবারও একটা জয়ের ধারা করতে চাইবে, এবং ইস্ট বেঙ্গলকে এই সময় যদি আমরা একটু দুর্বল ভাবি তাহলে কিন্তু খুবই ভুল হবে। কি বললেন এসে আজ জেমি ম্যাকলারেন, সেটাই চলুন শুনে নেওয়া যাক।
To the first question, I think, I came to Mohammedan to play in big derbies, and obviously playing in the first East Bengal derby was an amazing atmosphere. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I feel sorry for everybody involved because, we wanted to play in such a big crowd. It's the biggest fixture in India and possibly one of the biggest fixtures in Asia. So, I'm not sure what to expect up in Guwahati. Hopefully it's a good crowd, and every derby is always special. So, but touching on East Bengal, they're a good team. The ladder at the moment might speak a little bit different, but we're coming up against a team that's probably going to be hungry, and we have to match that. And to wear this jersey, wear these colours, comes with a lot of weight, and I believe that every week everybody wants to beat us, and we feel that. So we always have to work hard, work even harder to make sure that we're on our game. So it's going to be a good derby. We feel confident because we're winning games, but it's going to be a new experience because we're playing a derby outside of Kolkata, which I don't think even the local lads have been able to do that before. So it's going to be a new experience for everyone. I'm still adjusting to the Indian Super League, but listen, this league is not easy. I would never even say that. It's so many games. You saw last week, we were quite comfortable against Hyderabad, but then Hyderabad go and get a result against Goa. It just shows you that every week you have to be on your game, you have to work hard. But I know that every team wants to stop Mohammedan. I said it before, every player I assume in India would love to represent this club. And so the players that when we represent these colours, it's a special honour, even for a foreigner to come here, because it's such a huge history, rich history, and a big reason why a lot of Australian players love to come and represent Mohammedan. So I know they're going to try and stop us, but we've got a few tricks up our sleeve, and we know we've got players coming back fit, which is so important. Obviously, it's great to see Divi and Greg back running again, and they're only going to make us stronger. I've said before, a big reason I love playing in these big games. I've scored in multiple derbies, whether that's in Edinburgh Derby, over in Scotland, Melbourne Derby, and Kolkata Derby. So to be able to score and participate in these games, but this is the biggest. This is probably the biggest in terms of fixture that I've been involved in from a club point of view. And yeah, like I said, it's just a bit of a shame that we find ourselves having to get on a plane today and travel and play a derby outside of Kolkata, because our fans deserve it. And I think, obviously the East Bengal fans will be a bit disappointed too, but we're players, we are entertainers, we have to just get on with it. Full focus is on that, and we'll get on a plane this afternoon and travel to Guwahati and look to put on a performance and look to stay at the top of the table and just keep on building and improving. It's an interesting question because it's twofold. I think obviously myself, I would love to have more goals, have more assists maybe, but if you look at the whole holistic point of view of how we've been playing, we defend from the front and we attack from the back. We've conceded the least amount of goals, and the amount of goals we've been scoring is across the whole pitch. You can see that our defenders are scoring, our midfielders are scoring, our attackers are scoring. So a little bit of weight has been taken off myself just to be a focal point and by myself, Jamie has to score all the goals. That's not the case at this club. And that's what I love, being a part of a team that's so together that we're still sitting at the top. We can always improve. I can improve. I hold my hand up. I think there's been chances, for example, last week, I was a little bit unlucky with the post, but I keep my mentality strong, and me giving an assist to Jason is just as good as scoring. So as long as you have that mentality, there's no bitterness towards our squad, and we can all improve. There's no doubt. So it's a very good question, and I think that I'm working hard every single day to get better. Mohan signed me to bring success and continue the success. The success was there before I arrived. So I've just come here to improve the squad, and you can see now that we're sitting 5 points clear. We're not taking any game for granted, but you got to, as a player, you have to understand wins come first, then it's individual. If it was an individual sport, you can play golf or tennis, but this is a team game, and I believe that when someone else scores, I'm just as happy as myself scoring. And as I've gotten older, I've understood that, and sometimes you need to put, and you always need to put, your team ahead of an individual. And wins, goals, assists, and once you're all together, you realise you've produced something very special, and I think that's what we have right now. So I will score more goals, but I'm more focused on the wins. Look, like I said, it's last game we played against them was probably our most complete performance in terms of how we were from the start to finish, very, very dominant. But it's a new game, and we know that they're probably hurting from their defeat last week against Mumbai. But we need to just focus on ourselves. I think we've trained really well. We could have had more goals last week against Hyderabad, so the squad is in good shape and we're getting bodies back. And I just look forward to playing a game in such high stakes, because every game now is with 10 games to go, we're in a good position. We know we can always improve, but everybody is looking up at us, and we just have to stay focused and make sure that these wins continue to be a habit, because winning is a habit, and we want to continue that. As a kid, I always wanted to play for the best teams, and this is the best team. So, and I'm never going to take every single training session or any game for granted. And it's a pleasure to always represent this club and this organisation, and to be here. So, whether it's a derby or it's a home game or an away game, it's always amazing to see our fans. They turn up in numbers. Doesn't matter where they are. So, you're at a big club when they're doing that. So it's every single player, we love it. We can't wait to head to Guwahati this afternoon and get our heads focused on tomorrow night's game. And there's no pressure from us. We're just really excited. I don't make the rules, but if we could play all four of us, it would be amazing. But look, there comes a point where you can see how many times substitutes change the game. For example, if I think back to the Chennai game, I think I came off, Jason came on, scored a fantastic goal. And that just shows that the team right now is with a lot of depth. Okay, we've had a few injuries here and there, but every club has injuries. That's just part of football. We are humans. We give ourselves everything, and sometimes you get injured. But the combinations, they're working. Last week me and Jason have been linking up assists, goals. Greg's done the same. Dimmy's done the same. Dimmy's one of the best players in this league. They both won the Golden Ball, those two players. So whatever combination the coach goes with, we know it's going to be exciting because from the second half point of view, the two other exciting players will come on. But we've got a huge amount of depth, even with our Indian players. They're chomping in the bit to play, and we just look forward to the 10 games to go.